I want to get on to, we're going to speak about the handball, but I want to move on to the defensive issues. And I'm going to go to Hassan first on this because, actually, no, I'm going to go to Kojo first on this because this is something Kojo spoke quite a lot about during in pre-season. Is this because it's too many new players at once? Is this a system issue? Will this get better or not? Because they're the conversations that are going on tonight. Because all evening, just like the Crystal Palace game, just like the AC Milan game in pre-season, that was a great indicator, Liverpool are susceptible to those counterattacks. What do you think the issue is with that kind of defensive synchronization?
Look, man, I was talking about Virgil van Dizzy, but I'm going to leave off him because actually he had a good game today. So it wasn't his fault. What I saw for Liverpool, actually, I'll go with a system situation, right? And it's not actually the defense; it's actually the midfield. So I was saying in the chat that the midfield hasn't got the I don't want to say the legs, but the midfield is light. You've got McAllister, and when I say midfield, that central position, you've got McAllister, you've got Szoboszlai, and you've got Wirtz, right? And if I'm somebody that's got a bit more of a presence, right, I'm going to bully them three. Now, of course, I'm not, because I'm not great at football like that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about bullying these three because you're not going to physically outpace me, and you're not gonna move me off the ball. And I thought to myself, these three also don't have a defensive mindset enough in order to give the protection to the back. And actually, the Frimpong and Kerkez actually didn't have necessarily the best of games either. Like, Frimpong is a great going forward. He's another Trent at back. They just got a faster Trent. That's it. It's a faster Trent without the pass. And on the left-hand side of Kerkez looked like he was still playing for Bournemouth. So maybe it might take a little bit of time to get back up to speed with how Liverpool are playing. But the way that Bournemouth actually attacked, the wings were actually all game long. The wings were where they were actually destroying them. So I don't think if they had left on Frimpong at the right back, left Kerkez at left back, they wouldn't have scored. They would have still scored them because that's actually where all the danger was coming from. Liverpool's systematic defense is that it's a mindset thing, right? There's no aggression in that place. So unless Liverpool are going to say to themselves, we're going to hold onto the ball and we're going to have absolute possession in this whole entire game, like we're playing like we're Barcelona, which Liverpool are capable of doing, by the way, right? And holding on to all possession, then you can have Wirtz, Szoboszlai, and McAllister playing in midfield because by all means, you're not going to be you're not trying to get into a warring and a fight with the rest of the team. You're trying to hold on to possession and play a possession-based game. But when you're starting to play a game with, like, you're having transitions and the team can actually attack you, at that point, baby girl, like they were bombing them on those wings, and that's where they're going to find issues. It's a team mentality thing. Remember I said to you last time, Terry, that sometimes it's not just about having the personnel. It's actually a mindset thing. And if they're actually defensively minded, it comes about that. Even we saw with Barcelona, Iniesta, Xavi, and at one point we had Busquets, but even before Busquets, that midfield was kind of light. If you look at those three midfielders, they're very light. You know what I'm saying to you? But the fact of the matter is, their mindset is we get the ball and then we tarry together. And when someone loses it, we're on them as a team. I don't really see that with Liverpool as much. And I think that's where they need to get the balance right. That as soon as they lose it, boom, we are all on the mindset that we're going to get that ball. So I think it's more of a mindset thing rather than actually being, if they get Guehi, look, they can get Guehi with the same thing. I promise you, they can get Guehi in there, it will be the same thing. It's a system thing with a mindset thing.
You're an Arsenal fan, right?
Chelsea.
I'm a Chelsea boy.
You could tell where the horrible opinions come from.
You know what's funny? Is that
Frimpong didn't even have a bad game today. We literally conceded twice down that side when Frimpong came off. I wonder what game you were watching. I can give you my glasses, maybe in a different pair. But the conceding of the goals was all on slot for me today because the substitution playing Endo right back is the reason why we conceded the goal. He just couldn't handle Brooks' space. That's why we got attacked 5 times down that side. Endo's a very good midfielder, like in DM, but on playing like right back, bro, like he was just never gonna survive over there. He doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the agility, he doesn't have the athleticism. If he wanted to play a midfielder and right back, I thought Szoboszlai should have been a right back because at least he's athletic. Endo got absolutely destroyed down that side. Frimpong actually defended well all game long for me. He had a very good defensive performance. I don't think there was any moment where it's like, oh shit, Frimpong done this wrong. Like, I thought Frimpong had a good game. Kerkez was the one for me that I was a little bit disappointed in because he was the one kind of giving fouls away, maybe wasn't as concentrated. But Frimpong had a good game for me. And actually, when he came off, we missed that pace down that side and he performed really well from a defensive perspective. Also, Virgil van Dizzy, first ever Dutch captain to win a to win a Premier League, first one in Premier League history. Been here for 7 years at the highest level, was one vote away from beating Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, to a Ballon d'Or. So Virgil van Disney is just childish banter. He's the best centre-back in the world right now. And he's 34. He's in his prime years. So I don't expect him to be like he was when he was 28. But he's still 80% Virgil van Dijk is still better than 99.999% of centre-backs in the world. The defensive thing today had nothing to do with midfield. They had nothing to do with like how open we were or anything like that. Liverpool always play open, beautiful football, you know. So that's our style. And that's why we suffered when Frimpong and Kerkez came off in terms of pace and power, because you need that in the Premier League, whether you like it or not. The Premier League does have athleticism, it does have pace and power. It's not just all technique. You need pace and power as well. And when Frimpong came off, Endo wasn't even like the second goal that we conceded. Joe Gomez wasn't even in the frame of the goal. Like he wasn't even on like the whole frame, like half the whole pitch. He wasn't even in the frame. And the same thing for the first goal as well. Like Endo absolutely got cooked by Brooks from in behind. He couldn't catch him. He could have ran for another 20 minutes. He never caught him. And then we conceded a goal. So for me, I don't think it was an individual error. I think it was a selection error. Because had we just put Szoboszlai right back, if we insisted on playing a midfielder and right back, Szoboszlai at least has a bit of athleticism. So he could have covered that space for me, but he couldn't cover that space. And we conceded those goals. But those mistakes won't even happen like when Bradley's back, as an example, because Bradley has a lot of pace and power as well, and he's technically good too. So he will be able to cover, like, because like with Arne Slot, even when he used to bring off Trent, like in games to rest him or whatever, he used to bring on Connor Bradley. I think with Bradley being out, it's a little bit techie, but I hope we never try this Endo at right back experiment. I'm not scapegoating. I like Endo. I want Endo to stay, but he's just not a right back. Like, you can't take the slowest midfielder, play him right back, and expect that you won't get cooked. So that decision for me was a bad decision. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a like systematic thing. I think it was just personnel.
Wait, can I just say something, Terry? Mm-hmm. So the key thing was right. Bournemouth were always attacking you on the wings, regardless whether Kerkez or Frimpong were playing. You were always getting exposed on the wings. That's where they were hitting you. It's not about conceding, because sometimes it takes a bit of time. Same way you didn't score 4 goals into the end, right? So sometimes it's a bit of time. So what actually ended up happening was, first and foremost, you could have put Szoboszlai there. You could have put Conor Bradley there. It didn't matter. The ball was actually over the top and it curved between the right centre back and your right back. Right? It don't matter who was in there. It was timed beautifully. It wasn't about pace. See, what ends up happening is people think about pace, and don't realize football's not about pace. It's not only about pace. It's about IQ. It's about positioning. So when you're playing, this should have been what Slot should have been saying. If I'm switching the right back and left back and they're not as quick, our line can't be as high as that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? We have to set a little bit more back because we have to compensate for the fact that our defenders are not that quick. So that's the first thing. And the second goal had nothing to do with pace again. You got burnt out and turned into a dancer with Konate. That was nothing to do with pace. It don't matter how fast anybody was recovering. It's actually about systematic how you defend. Because in what ended up happening,
there were 3 players on that side. What any defender in the world could have done. Like on Konate's side, first of all, you just said he played a pass in between the centre back and the right back. I agree. How does a right back recover in that scenario? Right backs that have pace would recover better. That's why when we had Frimpong and Kerkez, we did not concede a goal. It's not because Bournemouth had needed time to build up. Bournemouth were playing well all the way throughout the game, but Kerkez, and in my opinion, Kerkez was a bit shaky, but Frimpong defended well. Now, when Frimpong and Kerkez came off and we lost the pace and power on the right back and the left back, Bournemouth were able to find those spaces. Had Frimpong been here, he had enough pace to come back and cover. So the problem is there was no cover. And for the second goal, when Salah played the pass to Szoboszlai and Bournemouth counterattacked us, there were literally 3 players down Konate's side. There are 3 attackers over there. Konate cannot cut himself into 3 and go like we're gonna defend each person. Like it's literally impossible. So I think we just got counterattacked. And an attacking team, look, this type of goal is going to happen for Manchester City and for Liverpool specifically in the league. These 2 teams will concede these type of goals because we're very offensive minded. Liverpool's mentality is we're 2-0 up, let's go score the 3rd, let's go score the 4th. That's the way that we play football. That's why even when it was 2-2, I know you won't believe me, even if you go to my watch along, I literally said it would be so us to go 2-2 and then score a dramatic winner at the end. We always have that like that thought of like, let's keep going, score more goals. So For me, I think it's personnel definitely would have made a difference, because even if they played that pass into space, having a recovery pace, we've seen it with Kyle Walker 100 million times, would have helped you to come back and defend the thing that you just spoke about, which is the pass between the center back and the right back.
That's what happens when people. Okay, the reason why I say that is because first and foremost, IQ of a footballer is that pace is not what's going to get you in there. You would cut off the angle. That's what you do when you don't have pace. You cut off the angle. Endo is not a right back, so it's not even about him having pace. It's a personnel issue of having an actual right back who understands that if I don't have pace, I work on my positioning. So if that ball is coming over, I'm not going to cut you off by chasing directly after you. No, I cut off the angle. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, that's the issue. I said don't put Endo right back.
No, you said actually about the person having to recover with pace, because what ends up happening is we're playing FIFA and you act like you can just press an RT button and chase after something. That's not what happens. Our IQ footballers understand that when I'm not as fast as you, I'm going to cover you by cutting off the angle. And the second goal, as you actually agreed with me, which is that it doesn't matter who it was. It's just it's an issue of systematic. How do we defend when we're getting attacked? Because Konate was left there, and of course it was Konate that was doing a spin around, but actually it was about 3 or 4 other players, or should I say 2 or 3 other players who are around actually did not defend as a team. They left it to Konate, and Konate's doing this, and he's not sure where to go, and he's left alone. So again, it's a team effort, which is why I said earlier on, when we're defending, it's a team mindset that we are aggressive when we defend as a team. That's why I said if you're going to play like that, you have to play like Barcelona. That when we're tackling, we all go together, bro. You can't just have a run and think you're going to run by yourself. No, it's going to be Konate, it's going to be Van Dijk, it's going to be freaking whoever's up front. They're going to run back, and we're going to all defend as a team. That's all I'm saying. And I've said it from the beginning, that preseason.
You're agreeing with me. I feel like you just want to argue. You're saying the same stuff I'm saying. I'll be honest with you.
Actually, I said it first, which means you agree with me. But anyway, so the defense is important.
No, I don't agree with you, because you said Frimpong was just like a quick trend. He wasn't, because he defended really well, which is why we didn't concede when he was there, even though Brooks was on the pitch. I thought Kirkus was the one that didn't have as much as a good game. So I disagree on the Frimpong and the part thing Van Disney.
You should have conceded, but you should have conceded when he was on the pitch. The first big chance they had started on the left, which is Frimpong's side, and the cross came. The only difference between the first chance Semenyo had and his first goal is that Kirkes, although he had a bad game, was able to get closer because he's quicker than Robbo to Semenyo, and I think he just did enough to put him off. Otherwise, he would have put you 1-0 up. I'm going to go to